Good morning, good evening, and welcome to this week's Fiberific Live Craft and Chat, where we craft and chat live. Now, I've just realized I have audio coming through my speakers, and I don't even know why I didn't realize it until it cut off. And I was like, oh, wait, I can't normally hear that. So let me know if there's anything weird, anything different. When it comes to the YouTube side of things, I haven't done too many tweaky changey things, but I have done some. So let's just jump in with some straight up hellos to people. There's some names in the chat here I haven't seen for a little while. Kathy Breyer, so good to see you. Welcome back to the chat. Bianca Arnold is here. She is hanging out in the chat. It's normally a work day for Bianca. Kelly is here. Did I say Bianca Arnold is here and is usually at work? I meant Josephine. Josephine is usually at work. Sal's made it. Great to see you. Bianca says ranunculus. So pretty. Thank you. I decided that maybe I would actually wear something I've made for my live craft and chat, which is weird, right? That's weird. Molly is here as well. Great to see you, Molly. Kelly says, I agree. The ranunculus is beautiful. Thank you. And it is because of this ranunculus. It is because my friends Bianca and Josephine and a few of the others who make wearables and wear them in this subtropic temperatures that I have decided that this year is the year of making my clothes. Now, I know that last year was going to be that year and it ended up being the year of blankets, which was weird. That was not the plan. But this year I am definitely going to be making more garments. I've already swatched for two tops. One is I'll show them to you later, actually. I'm going to go and dig them out for you. Alison is here. It's great to see you as well. Sally says that I actually feel jet lag this morning, even though I haven't traveled very far. That is weird. That is weird. And I do get it. I understand that feeling. Good morning, Leanne. It's great to see you. Samantha Stewart is here as well. Just looking good. Thanks. Thanks. Appreciate that. So let's jump in with some housekeeping. I'm just having a little look around to make sure that everything's running, everything's doing its things. So first things first, what's in your cup? All right. So I got 3 cups. I got 3. I have coffee. I have tea. In particular, it's Irish breakfast tea. It is a Twinings. I'm trying to use them up. I have bought some Narada tea to try, which was an English breakfast. I don't hate English breakfast, but I thought I would give that a whirl as well. And I've grabbed something else. I can't remember what it is, but I got something else that I think you guys recommended. And I actually have cold water today because it's a bit warm here. It's not too bad, but it's a little muggy is probably what it is. Okay, so that's I'm seeing great conversations having. Sally's got her mocha. Sally, you know what? Whenever I have a mocha, I instantly think of you. Instantly. I don't do mochas very often, but when I have one, I do think of you. Leanne saying it's got great audio and picture. Thanks, Leanne. I did move the microphones and stuff, so I'm hoping that has made a difference. Do you display your black here? Do you display your black? I'm not sure what that is. Leanne, I'm sorry, my brain's still not quite awake, so maybe you might need to, you may need to, you know, let me know what that, oh, BMAC, you got auto-corrected. Look, I don't put the QR code up unless you want the QR code, but I do have the link pinned to the top of the description. And so it's not the Fiberific BMAC. I know it's weird. I actually have 2, but I'm really just using the one. So if you do decide you'd like to buy me a coffee and be shouted out for buying me a coffee, then please do so. Absolutely love coffee and beveragino. I haven't decided on a goal for this year. Last year we did the chair, and I feel really excited that we got the chair. So Kelly says, hubby made me coffee, so it's an iced coffee with a dollop of ice cream. Nice. The Lone Wanderer broke ground on the Arna and Carlos polar bear sweater. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. I have not wanted to do like a pattern like that. What is that? That's not intarsia. What is that? Oh, it might. Oh, I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Is it technically still just color work, or is it like, I don't know. You'll have to tell me. But that is amazing. But hang on, bring that back. Lone Wanderer's Bunker. Bring that back up on the screen. Thank you. The wool knits up well and doesn't feel as scratchy as it did. I have wine in my cup. That is awesome. And I'm glad it doesn't feel as scratchy as you're expecting, because I know, I think my brain may have confused you with someone else, and I'm really sorry. But you did buy their Rowan Norwegian wool, right? Which was A, expensive, and then B, surprisingly scratchy. And so I'm really glad that it's working up nicely, and I hope it washes up even nicer again, because I had a shock. I had a shock when I washed up the yarn from the Wool Warehouse. What's their one called? My brain's totally not working. It's because right in front of my face I have a list with housekeeping, and I haven't done it yet. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do housekeeping first, all right? I'm going to do housekeeping first. So first things first, channel members, put your ears on. There is a members call in the Discord in 48 hours. It is basically Saturday for me. So it's Thursday now for me. Saturday for me, same start time. So 10 a.m. Saturday. And that is a members call in the Discord. So if you are an internationally and you need to do some jiggery pokery with time zones, it is starting at the same time as this stream does, except in 2 days time. I will go in and pop an event in, and so that it'll just give you your time, but I've got to remember to do that, which I don't know if I have. And then we have no IKEA tonight, because it's the second Thursday of the month, so no IKEA, but we have a members call on Discord. All right, so they were the big things I wanted to hit here. Oh, it is Fair Isle. Thank you. I just wasn't sure because it was imagery, but I do know that they prefer, like they try to not have more than 3 stitches for floats and things like that. So that's technically Fair Isle. So yeah. Oh, and you did buy the Norwegian wool from Hobie. Okay. Yarn Smiths. Thank you. Yarn Smiths DK is what I got. And Sally's going to try and make it to the Saturday call. That is awesome, Sally. So the Saturday call in Discord, it's like a Zoom. So you can have your own camera on or not, your call, but you can have a microphone on, and it's a 2-way conversation. It's not just me blathering. You get to talk too. So I really enjoy them. I think they're so much fun, and I really appreciate it. So that is for members. So ad skippers are not eligible, but all the coffee level memberships are eligible and can jump in. Now, if you are a channel member and you have not joined the Discord yet, what you need to do is go and click the Discord link, which may magically appear in the chat because moderators are amazing. And you'll need to add your YouTube channel to Discord, to your Discord profile. And there are instructions on how to do it, but if you get stuck or you need someone to help you, just call out in the general chat, and someone will help you set it up so that we can make sure that you get in for the call. The calls for members are only once a month, so they're on the second Saturday of the month. I have now blocked them out in my calendar for the rest of the year. So second Saturday of the month, which will be the second Friday of the month if you're Northern Hemisphere peeps. So can't wait. Cannot wait. So looking forward to it. All right, let's have a look. Sally, thank you. Thank you for the Discord link. Now, some other news is there may be some jiggery pokery happening with my website. So we may have to grab some new links or something like that. I haven't 100% decided on some decisions, but I have to make them soon to work out what I'm going to do. Because websites creep up in prices, and they currently want lots and lots and lots for me to keep my website open, and I just don't know if it's worth it, honestly. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do, and I've only got until like the 6th of February to decide. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I was like, oh no, I'm going to shut it down. Then I'm like, oh, but then, you know, my links aren't going to work and all this sort of stuff. And I'm not going to be able to have anywhere. So I want to have like a blog website that's not a sales website that is just, and then they still want the same sort of money for that. And you're just like, really? Really? This is ridiculous. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but keep your eyes peeled on that. So the other thing in relation to that is if there is something on my website that you have wanted, get in and get it now. Because once I shut down the website, I'll just be bundling everything up and selling it just on Facebook or you know, other ways. Because there's not much left, and yeah, that'll be the case. Yeah, Leanne, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because what I think it is I still want a website. I just don't want a full sales, WooCommerce, full-on crazy website. I just want something that I can make posts on and share my favorite links of things on, kind of like my other website. So I'm seriously contemplating contacting them and just going, hey, how much extra to add on a second one? So yeah, so they're the things. They're the things that are happening. Let me just go back over here. Alrighty. So, I don't know which way to go first. Like I've got a plan. I've got some stuff to talk about, but I'm just not sure which way to go first. So I'm thinking, let's just jump straight in to some cool new tools, right? Like cool new tools. So, Nispin Girl says, is Blogger still free? I don't know if Blogger is. I know I can get a free WordPress, but it means that I can't use, WordPress won't let me use my .com.au. And also to use it free, I can't add any plugins. And there's one plugin that I really just don't want to go without. Just one. And it helps me, you know, track all my affiliate links. So I kind of really want it. So, but I will check Blogger because I didn't think about Blogger. So, because I don't want to, you know, I could possibly just go like, just get a different fiberific dot something else and then just redirect .com.au to it. That's always a possibility and it still works out cheaper. But then I wouldn't be able to use, I'm sorry, you guys don't care about this stuff. My brain is just gone straight down that rabbit hole. Let's talk about the new tools. So first things first, last week's stream, I really wanted pouches for my tools, right? For my knitting needles and crochet hooks and all the extra bits and pieces that aren't ChowGoo that I've been slowly buying over my lifetime, basically. And they don't have little pouches. They don't have little cute things. Yeah, definitely a squirrel moment. That is right, Leanne. And they're just sort of just sitting in baskets and stuff. And I want them to be in nice, and one of the things in particular is I've been buying the Knit Pro Carbons knitting needles. Just a little set here, a little set there, like not the whole kit or anything, but just a couple of sets of tips here and there and some cables here and there. And I want them to have their own little case because I'm actually finding that I'm enjoying them a lot. They're really super lightweight and they've still got a metal tip. I still love my ChowGoo, don't get me wrong, and I still reach my ChowGoos pretty well first. But if I can't find the ChowGoos in it, I reach for the carbons first. So like carbons are second. So I want to make sure that I've got this, you know, sort of like in there, all their little pouches. And I put in an order last week. It was really tough because I was torn between supporting a local Australian business with those faux leather pouches that we saw last week in the stream, the Knit Pro clay pouches, which were really cute. Or do I just go to Amazon and buy the actual pouches that I wanted that are zips rather than fold up and press studs? And get the ones that I actually wanted that just needed to be shipped in from Germany. And so what I did was I went with the ones from Amazon. I have purchased the interchangeable one, the DPNs, and the fixed circulars. Was it DPNs? I think it was DPNs. I bought three. I bought three of them. And they should actually be arriving today. I got my shipping notification they were coming today. And so I'm a bit shocked because my original notification said like the 15th or 16th. Today here is the 9th in Australia. So that's a bit earlier than I anticipated. So we'll wait and see. If it rocks up, it rocks up. But I really have just been hanging out for some organizational. And that's been a big thing. And I was like, I don't need it. And then I realized I've got all of these DPNs I tested. None of them have their own cases. I have got, all of these things that I've been testing and testing. None of them have any way for me to store them, to look after them. And that bugs me when I don't have a way to look after something. Let's have a look here. Sue Ellen is here. It's great to see you, Sue Ellen. Happy New Year. And I don't mind the tech talk. Thanks, Sue Ellen. I appreciate that. Because my brain does go there sometimes. And I'm really sorry for those of you that just don't get into it. Sometimes I really do fall down sometimes I really do fall down the rabbit hole. Leanne says, why would we have one when 3 are available? Well, and that's the thing, like I needed at least 2, and the big push was the DPN case. I was like, do I really need that? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Dolores, it's great to see you. I've missed a couple of lives, watched the replays. Great to be here on the live this week. It's so good that you were able to come back. I know that time zones and commitments and things, it makes it tricky. So I really do appreciate when you actually make it in. Let me look here. The Lone Wanderer's Bunker says, I've never understood the need for DPNs. I hate them and I avoid them at all my costs. Change my mind. I'm not going to change your mind. This is the thing. There are alternatives available. If you are into magic looping, you can go the magic loop. If you want to, you've got, there are alternative ways to do it. If you just want to use really small fixed circulars, you can. I'm not going to change your mind. You need to work out the ways to enjoy it for you. I personally like different tools for different things. When I'm doing the top of a beanie and things like that, I prefer DPNs. I don't know why, I just do. And it could be because that's how I learned. I don't know. Whereas when it comes to knitting socks, sometimes I feel like using DPNs. Sometimes I feel like using fixed circulars. Sometimes I feel like magic looping. Sometimes I feel like doing 2 circular cables at a time. There's so many alternatives. And I just don't like to limit myself. I like to have choices. So if I feel like I'm competent enough, like I wouldn't say I'm like a crack DPN knitter, right? But I want to have the options and I want to have the choices so that if I want to knit a pair of socks or something and I want to knit 2 at a time, but I don't have a long enough fixed circular with the tips that I need because they're in another project, right? But the 2 at a time, I could still do 2 at a time because I've got alternatives. So yeah, it's one of those things. You get to use the tools and the skills however you want to use them. I'm not gonna try and change your mind. Alison says, I ended up getting the interchangeable one for myself and it arrived this morning. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, Alison. Brianna Purdue, it's great to see you. This is my first live catching you. What time is it there? It's 7:18 on the 8th in the USA. It is 10:19 a.m. on Thursday morning here in Australia. Welcome to the chat. Sue Ellen says, love Magic Loop and finally worked out how to properly use the right sized circulars. Yeah, look, with Magic Looping, you need at least a certain length, right? And you can get away with longer, but going with shorter is a nightmare. So for me personally, if I'm Magic Looping, I want at least 80 centimeters for a pair of socks, right? So at least, what is that? That's 32 inches, at least 32 inches. So, oh, Sally, I did, hang on a second. I did see it, and then I missed it. How far back is it? There's Sally's Discord. There it is. Wood, 38 months. Thank you, Sal. Artisan level member for 38 months. Sorry, Sally. I got distracted. Let's have a look here. The Lone Wanderer says, I do something that I've never seen anyone else do. I knit a few rows flat, then I'll join in the round to avoid the twisted stitches. I actually do that as well. I prefer just 1 or 2 rounds. I don't go crazy. And you're right, it just makes it so that you don't have to deal with like making sure the stitches are the right way around. And it's really easy just to, when you're weaving in your ends, just to join up like a couple of rows. It's not a biggie. So yeah, I use DPNs for picking up stitches or for knitting small flat things. I hate them for knitting in the round. Yeah, look, there are a lot of uses for DPNs. There's a lot of uses. Sue Ellen says, my fear of the needle slipping out stops me from using DPNs. I've got a mix of like different types of DPNs, and depending on the yarn, I'll use a different one, but I really found that the, just trying to, do I have one handy? In this pouch of, here they go, the collage. These are square DPNs, right? I know it sounds bizarre. These are square DPNs. I've pulled out, they're, what size are you? The 4 mils, so they're easy to see. And they're square. And I found them, they fell out so much less. They're brushed, but they're still sharp and they're still smooth, and I could still knit quickly with them. So, yeah, so I just really like them. So they're available in a couple of different colors. I don't know if they're still available. I know they were selling out because they're closing down. And I also, what was it, collage that's closing down? I don't remember. Anyway, they're expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. They were expensive. And I bought a couple of sets. But I also bought the Nova, the Knit Pro Novas, which is their square needles. And I don't like them as much. I found them to be nearly as slippy as standard stainless steel. They don't feel as square. It's nearly like they've decided to round off the edges, which kind of defeats the purpose for me. Other than that, they're totally fine. They just didn't do what the other ones did for me, if that makes any sense. And I thought I was going to have issues knitting with square needles. Did not. Didn't even notice it, I'll be honest. Other than it felt nicer to hold for some reason. I don't know, but different strokes for different folks. Let's have a look here. Kelly says, I don't like DPNs, but I did a small tube and I was glad that the single set of DPNs I have were the perfect size, so they can be helpful, but for most things, I don't need them. Bianca says, I bought all my fixed circs at 100 centimeters so I could magic loop if necessary. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, like we all use different things for different things, right? We all use different tools for different things. And I love that we have so many choices and we have so many options. But what I would say is, if you actually want to like using DPNs, try some of the different ones. Try some of the different shapes or the different lengths. So for me, when I started using the longer DPNs, like I started out using 5-inch DPNs because I thought, oh, shorter is better. No. I moved into the 6-inch DPNs and was like, oh, this is cool. Now, if I can, I buy 8-inch DPNs because the chances of your stitches falling off is a lot lower, right? And I feel like I've got something more to hold on to. So if you really, really want to have a go, try something a little bit different. Just buy one set in a size that you'll probably use for something else. So for me, my go-to sizing is usually like a 4 mil or a 3.5 mil. They're normally the sizes that I gravitate towards for most of my projects. So if I'm knitting beanies, it's a 4 mil usually, because DK weight yarn here and I'm a loose knitter, so, you know. But find the size that you use the most and grab a set in that size. And try something a little bit different, whether it's a different shape or a different texture, like it's made out of something else. But one thing I will say, those crappy bamboo DPNs that you can buy from eBay in like a massive set and probably Temu as well, and all those the crap tools, don't bother. And don't make judgments on whether you like something because you used that. Because I did that. Many, many, many years ago, I bought the whole set off eBay and they were awful. And I thought I hated DPNs, and it put me off DPNs for years. It wasn't till I needed to borrow needles off someone at Spinners and Weavers, and they only had the size I needed in DPNs. So I was like, fine, I'll use DPNs. And they were beautiful. Sometimes the tools make the difference. The quality of the tools makes the difference. So yeah. Leanne says, I did notice your number 1 member isn't here, but the number 2 is. Just saying. Leanne, you'll like never give up this you're waiting for Claire to cancel her membership so you can come to number 1, aren't you? Like that's I'll have to tell you if that happens. Russell, happy New Year's to you as well. Thank you so much for jumping in. So good to see you. Yeah, DPNs are fantastic for I-cords. Absolutely. They're so good for I-cords. And what else? What's the thing I've been doing a bit lately where I've got to slide it to there's a, what was it? I can't remember. Something else. Oh, I'll remember. The Lone Wanderer says, I'm going to say for a really good set of interchangeables, the ones I got off Amazon are crap and come undone. Can you recommend a set of interchangeables that don't come undone? Okay, so I've not found a single set of interchangeables that were keyless that came undone. So you've got it. So for me, I love the ChowGoo. I'm all about ChowGoo still. If you can get your hands on a set of ChowGoo interchangeables, double check the sizes that you need. You may not need the full, complete, massive set. You might just need the small set, which is I just bought the small set. I don't use much larger than a 5mm, and I picked up the 5.5mm tips separately and just added them to my case, so I didn't have to buy the whole double set sort of thing. ChowGoo, beautiful, well made, high quality. Knit Pro carbons, I'm absolutely loving. Again, you need to lock them with a key. They come with keys. It's basically a pin that you poke through a hole and twist it. And if you don't lock it, they do come undone. But I know some of the alternative brands are keyless, so they don't lock, and therefore they're likely to come undone. And I'm also a continental knitter, so I tend to make things come undone as I'm knitting them as well. So I also have to accept that and just retighten every now and again, especially on like a long-term project. And sometimes it'll come down to the cables that you've got. So if you've got a swivel cable, so with the ChowGoos, I use the red cable, which is my absolute favorite cable. With the Knit Pros, I like using their swivel cables. The ChowGoo have a swivel cable. They have their nylon swivel cable. Don't like it. And they have their flexi cable. Can't remember what it was called. Swiv 360 is what it was. Awful. Don't like that either. So I stick with the reds. And if you can get the blues with the small connectors, the blues are great as well. But yeah, Knit Pro carbons I've been loving. And the Mindfuls. What are they called? Hang on, do I have... No, they're out in the living room with my other project. No. So it's the ones with the teal cables, and you get teal swivel cables. They actually remind me a lot of using ChowGoos. They really do. So, yeah. Lots to choose from. What I would say, which is the same piece of advice I give in my ChowGoo review video here on this channel, which there's a lot of. So if you want to know more about ChowGoo, there's a ton of videos here. When it comes to testing out things, especially like if you're planning on investing, because it is an investment, if you're planning on investing in a full set of interchangeables, just buy a set of tips and a cable, which most places you can get that, and test them out for yourself. So you've got the small investment first. If you love them, there's no loss. Because you've probably, like for me, I recommend either finding tips that aren't included in the set, because some of them don't include all of their in-betweeny sizes. So with the Mindful set, they had a 3 and a 3.5, and then to the 4. So, you know, I could have tested with a 3.25 or a 3.75. But different sets have different, you know, needles that are included. So double check what's included. Or if they include everything you want, the one size that you just always use, right? And have multiple projects running it. So for me, that's a 3.5 or a 4 mil. So having extras of those is no problem. I'm like, please, I need 5 extra sets of both of those. So making sure that, you know, you test it first. Don't just take someone's advice, because different people like different things. So go and test it. Or if you know someone who's got a set of them and can just lend you a pair just to make a beanie or to make something. I went and, so here's an example. I love using, many years ago, my go-to fixed circulars were Addies, right, with the gold cables. Love them to pieces. I saved and saved and saved and saved, because they're really expensive in Australia, for the Addie click interchangeables. I used them on a project for all of about 10 rows before I resold them on. I hated them. I hated the click mechanism. It made it hard for you to slide your knitting. It was awful. I hated them. So, some people still love them. Some people still love them. So, you know, that's the thing. I hated them and I had to find something else. So, yeah. Molly says, what brand of square DPNs did you like? Oh, I like the collage. Hang on, I'm grabbing them again. The collage. They just feel really nice. And they've got multiple lengths. You can get them in a couple of different colors, or at least you could. Like, they're expensive. They're imports. Postage was expensive. I think I ordered 3 or 4 sets just to make it worth the postage. So yeah, love those though. The Lone Wanderer says, I'm a continental knitter too, so I guess I'm out of luck. No, I don't think you're out of luck. So this is the thing. I'm really rough with my tools, and I know not every continental knitter has the same problem as I do with cables coming undone. The other thing is, which we have to take into consideration, Little Miss Greasy Fingers here, I've got very greasy skin, and so I really struggle to get a good tightening grip. So I always make sure I've got, like, you know, rubber grippers, whatever it is, to help get a good grip tightening. And my projects don't all come undone. It's usually just the ones that I quickly do without a rubber gripper. And I don't always have one handy. So I'll just, and you know, I don't even use their keys. I'm like, oh, a random pin, that'll do, like boomf, and tighten it. Sometimes it's me. I'm the problem. So I wouldn't rule things out. I would just understand that depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it, it could be an issue. Now, I need to hydrate. I can feel my throat starting to get hot. But this week I actually didn't just order something. Something arrived. And I ordered this back in 2024. Myself and a couple of friends all went in together, and we were able to get free postage because we ordered a few of them together. And I ordered a K-Do yarn winder. So I'll just bring that over here. This guy right here, the K-Do electric yarn winder. Now, I know a lot of creators had some sent out to them, and you know, that they made videos. I paid for this with my own hard-earned $bucks. This is not paid. This is nothing like that. So let's open it up. Let's have a look at what they sent. Now, I have opened it. I have tested it because I couldn't resist it. I opened it the second I got it, and I was out and about at IKEA, and I was able to test it because I had a power brick in my handbag. So this thing can work off a power brick. You don't have to have access to mains power. So how cool is that for a start? All right, let's go rewind. I don't even know where my thing is. Let's two cameras with a friend. There we go. K-Do. Move you out of the way. Little keyboard. Oh, like, good job. Well done, me. Go me. All right. This is the K-Do. Now, one thing I will say is it comes in 2 colors. I opted for the blue. The other girls ordered the purple, and theirs came faster. So there is the book that tells us how to do all the things. This is the second model. Now, I've just shoved this back in the box, right? It came a bit more nicely done. What's wrong? Oh, okay. It's a ball winder. Eyes roll, off she walks. So it came in a couple. Comes in a few pieces. Just the 3. We got, and also included is a little mini awful screwdriver. I hate these screwdrivers so much. A couple little screws, and there's just the packaging, and the power cord, right? So little USB-C to USB-C. So let's just move the box over here. Let's stick the branding in the corner. So we did have to put it together as such, but it was so easy, honestly. I thought it was going to be like a drama llama, not a drama llama. So let's have a look here. So basically it's got the little lip, so you just sort of slide it in and twist it, and then that section is on. There we go, clicked. It's quite huge. It will take quite a decent amount of yarn. This is the tension guide. Now, everybody I've spoken to about this says it's too much tension and it's annoying. But what I noticed is there are screws here, so we could probably loosen that tension off just by loosening the screw off a little bit. I don't know how much give there is in the screw. I was just thinking about it the other day. This is an awful screwdriver. There we go. Yeah, if you can, you just dial back your tension just by releasing the screw a bit. It just eases it off just a little. I don't know how far you'd get before it's, you know, before it just flies. Maybe we should test that. Maybe I should see how far we get. I can't imagine it would be a lot. These screws look quite, oh, actually no, they look like a decent length. That's still in. There we go. Yeah, so maybe play with that a little bit, ease the screw back and just reduce the tension. But a lot of creators that I've seen are just straight up bypassing it, and they're just going from there straight into there. They're just not even going under it, so they're not using the tension guide at all. But you can reduce your tension. Most things that have, oh, there we go. That was too short. Let's see how hard it is to put it back on. Is that this? There we go. That goes on that side. That goes there. Screw in. There we go. So we don't want to ease it off too much because it just flies away. There we go. There we go. That's back on. Yeah, but see, the spring does pin down the tension, but if you ease off the pressure of the spring, it will reduce the amount that the spring's pushing, because if the spring's already expanded more, it's not going to push as hard. So it's a fairly standard tensioning. In saying that, if you can get the perfectly fine tension by bypassing them, do it. Do whatever you need to do to make yourself happy. But I'll give that a go with running that through that way. You could trim the spring. Absolutely, you could totally trim the spring. Although it does nest in, and so you wouldn't want to take too much off of the correct sizing. But you could reduce that down by a couple of springs just to take some of the tension out. If it's just always too tight, there's definitely ways to adjust it. So I'm just like, I'm paranoid now, and I just want to tighten this back up a little. There we go. There we go. All right. So that's the last piece that goes on. Now, I was very lucky that I had Kelly with me, who was, she'd used hers before. And this bit just has to sort of feed under and in between the plastics. And so you don't actually, the actual two pieces squeeze together so tightly, this doesn't come out. So if you're going to be packing it up and putting it away and packing it up and putting it away, and you don't want to have to screw this in and deal with, like, you know, having to undo the screws all the time, then you could just leave that off. This is an awful screwdriver. I just need to say how awful this screwdriver is, and I'm so tempted to just dig out a decent one. But this is it. This is all I've got to screw in, this one thing. So deal with the awful screwdriver. That's it. It is constructed. It's just a case of adding this piece on, adding this guy on, and you're ready to go. So it's just a stock standard table clamp goes on. Now, one thing I will say that I am a little disappointed about is I'm used to having ball winders where I can adjust the angle of this piece. So depending on where my Swift or where the yarn is that's going to feed into it, I can adjust it. Now, I don't want to be too much of a whinger. This is an electric ball winder under $900. So like my electric ball winder was like 900 Australian dollars back in the day. So this one came out, we grabbed it on sale and I think it was like $60 or $70. I think not on sale from Amazon, which I think I have a link in the description. Someone let me know if I actually went and did what I thought I was going to do. I don't know if I did, but I think they're currently about 120, which I still think is a good price. So, but keep an eye on their website. Go and join their website. So I'm just, what I'm going to do here is, I'm just like, do I want to really move the camera just so we can have this in shot? Oh, it's there. Thanks, Sally. But basically, I'm just going to put this here. Now, they do supply a cable, but they don't supply a power plug. They just assume that you already have one, right? Which is a good chance you do, but do you already have a USB-C plug? Maybe not. So I wanted to test it with some different cables. It does work with different cables. So if you have a USB-C to USB-A plug, like, you know, this guy here, USB-C to USB-A, that's the big one, then it will work. So I've got that here as well so I can show you too. But basically, you plug it in, right, and you turn it on. And mine's making a noise, and I don't know why. It didn't make that noise the other day, so maybe I have not got this tightened quite enough. There we go. Alrighty. So now the pet peeve that most people who I've seen in their videos is it's too slow. It's too slow. I can wind a ball faster than this. You know what? Yep, you can. But can you walk away? Can you be doing something else and just be keeping an eye on it out of the corner of your eye? Probs not. Probs not. So and the balls that it makes is totally fine. So being able, and it can get faster than that. There we go. I actually don't recommend winding your balls this fast, honestly. So slow that down to, you know, a speed that you're happy with. So, and then you just turn it off. Now let's see. This was with my cable from my charger here. Let's just stock standard rando cable. This is a cheapy cable I picked up from somewhere. I don't even know where. Fingers crossed I haven't tested this exact cable. I haven't tested it. There we go. Perfectly fine with different cables. You know, some things like, oh, you must use our cable. This is not one of those things, right? So you can use whatever cable you want. Now, I'm just going to plug this cable back into this because this is the cable for this charger and I don't want to forget it. So I can't set up a Swift in here, so I can't show you, but it handles it. It just rolls the balls slowly. All right. So it just rolls them slowly and it handles it fine. It does, if it gets a snag, it does pause and you can turn the power off, sort your snag, turn it back on and slowly ramp it up. But I mean, we need to wind something, right? We need to wind a thing. Like I've got this little bit of white handy. Like, you think I would have planned this and actually got some yarn out ready to wind, but no, I didn't. So let's grab a power cord. Now, one thing I'll say about this is, hang on, I am going to just run it under its little, where's its little tension leg here on the other side. When I say tension leg, under the tension, there is a little spot. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see how there's a leg standing up? So the yarn doesn't just fall out the side. So you need to make sure that your yarn stays within that tension leg. It's probably got a proper name. Probably got a proper name. I don't know what it is. I didn't run it through the little hole. One thing I'll say is this hole here, I think should also have a slit in it like these others do. I think that would be really nice. Again, I'm not going to complain too loudly. So in the meantime, just for this, it is going to give it too much tension, I think. Yeah, that's way too much tension. Come back out. There we go. Which way do you turn? Are you plugged in? Plug you in. Plug you in. No. It hates me now. Now it's like, no. You said we work with any cables. There we go. So that way. Because you do have to, like a lot of ball winders, you do need to wrap the yarn a couple of times. And you know what? I always do it the wrong way the first time. So it actually has, like, in the little fins here, you can actually push it down into the fins. And that's what it wants you to do. It wants you to push it down in the fins. All right. Did I go the right way? I did! Yay! So I've just got this little ball here. It shouldn't take too long. We paid $67 each with the 40% off sale, and we got free postage. Yeah. So keep an eye on their website. All right. So Kado's website. I don't know the link for that. Kelly's got the link because Kelly organized all this for us. She was our facilitator. So look, hands-free, doing all its things. I sit here. I'll drink me coffee. Alrighty. We're finished. Okay. So I like to personally undo the first wrap because I like to just, I'm a control freak and I like to just tuck that yarn straight down in there just so it doesn't come undone. I know the white is too much. I should have found something else. And then you just slide it off. But one thing I'll say, you know some ball winders, how you slide it off and the ball collapses like a because it's been wound so tightly and it needs to go into this space. This does not. Every ball I have wound has stayed like this, has stayed with the hole in the middle, and made it really easy. So, you know, to find your end kind of thing. It's not overly tensioned. It's not too tight. Now, I haven't wound one off a Swift yet, but everyone I've seen use this thing, no matter how they're winding it, it's not putting too much tension on the ball, which most, especially motorized ball winders, do. So I would say keep an eye out on the sales. Whenever you see one off, I personally think the $120-ish is still great value full price. In Australia, that's $120-ish in Australia. I don't know what it is in the US. You probably get better deals than we do on Amazon because you do with everything else. So definitely check it out. It's worth having in your arsenal, especially if you can get it at a good price. For me, $67, even if it was a bit meh, was still worth it. And at that time, I didn't know I could run it off a power bank, right? So just being able to run it off a power bank for me is like an extra tick, right? I can throw it in the car. I can have it with me. Does anybody else like work on a project? And because like I like center pull balls, and sometimes when you get to the end, you've got this little flat like shell husk of the outer sections of your yarn. I can just roll that right up, right where I'm sitting, because this thing has actually got some heft and some weight to it. This was not clamped to the table. Now, if I was using it with the Swift, I would clamp it to the table. And I'm not sure if you could see how it functions. It actually, like, unlike a lot of ball winders where it's a lot smoother when you wind it yourself, this tugs and tugs and tugs and tugs. So you have to accept that it's different. So you just have to accept that it's different, like a different mechanism, but it still makes the perfect ball. which I'm just so impressed about. So even sitting here, and I actually had to shove the middle back in, the ball is still hollow in the middle. So it's had time to relax and sit here now. I'm very impressed with this thing. I didn't think I would be. I heard some mixed reviews on it. But I just think for the money and for the portability, yeah, it's cumbersome, right? It's big, but portability as in you don't have to connect it to mains power. It's just pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool piece of gear, and you should go and definitely check it out. I got mine in blue because I already have a purple ball winder. My Knit Picks one is purple, but they do come in purple as well. There's 2 different models. So you'll see one that has these fins and one that doesn't have these fins. This is the more recent model. This model has better anti-jogging for when it gets a snag. You can actually just quickly unsnag it and it'll keep winding, whereas the other one you actually had to turn it off, do the snag, and then turn it back on again. Kelly's saying that she had to tape down the start of the yarn so it didn't get lost in the ball, so that you can do the center pull. I actually haven't found that, but then I do wrap my yarn a bit differently, and I don't wrap it too tight, and I leave a long tail so that when I'm sliding the ball off, there's actually a tail already hanging out. So when I wrapped my yarn, I wrapped it around twice, and there was still like a bit like I didn't try to wrap the whole lot. And that's just me being slack, but it also helps in the long run. It means that I've got a longer piece that just, I had to poke that because it was long. I had to actually poke it back in the ball to make it short. So different ways to do things, but I would test wrapping it a couple of times and leaving the tail just sort of hanging around, flapping around, which may bug you when you're winding the yarn, right? It may just bug you. But I found, for me, that's just how I do stuff. So yeah. Let me have a look here in the chat. Lots of questions in here. And I've missed a pile. We're back up here. I use safety pins to tighten the chow goose as well. Yeah, absolutely. Whatever's handy. I mean, they come with a T-pin. They're designed for a pin, right? Russell here says that you could actually substitute a longer screw, allowing less tension. You absolutely could. This kind of screw, this size, look, I'm going to guess it's it's probably like an I'm going to say an M2, but I would have to have a look. I'd have to measure it, but it looks like to be a fairly standard screw, and you could do that. Or you could even just get in there with some pliers and just cut off a couple of the rungs of that if you want. Or you could just leave it and just not use those bits and go around them. You can totally go around them. It's just as easy. The link is in the description. You guys are champions. My cat would love that, so better keep an eye on it. Macy is a bit obsessed. Whenever I pull out this Swift, she's just runs over to the table and sits there come on, bring it. Bring me my Swift. Bring me my yarn to bat as it swings around and whacks me in the face. Kelly's saying it does tug, then spins, and then tugs again, so it pulls in sequence. I used my winder with an Army Swift, and it worked fine. I did set it to slow, so my balls weren't tight. I can go and grab I've got a Knit Picks. I'm just do I have any yarn? I got a mini over there I could totally do. Let me know if you want me to go and grab a Swift, and I'm just looking around where I could. What I could do is I would have to put the ball winder on the other table and the Swift here, but it would give you an image of how the Swift is responding to it. Yeah, I can't get both under camera, which is the issue. So let me know if that's what you want me to do. Leanne says I put a slip knot on the end. That makes it easy for me. Yep. There is no slit at the top for catching the yarn. No. The slits are at the base here. So let me just have a look here. Can you, each one of these, the slit goes down to sort of there. So you slide it down and put a couple of rows in so it holds itself. So yeah, so it's not at the top. So yeah, I'm gonna unplug that bad boy, but let me know if that's what you want me to do, and I'll see what we can wrangle. That cord goes with this guy. The box is probably gonna go. I'm not keeping the box. This is my cable, so it goes back in the cable bag. I will need some sticky tape to tape the tools and the spares inside there, because that's a thing I do. And then that can go in the shelf. But yeah, let me know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's worth 120 Australian dollars if you can't get it on special? So, power pack can go. Like clearing the table. Have a drink while you guys let me know. Now, I've also seen it on sale on Amazon. So keep an eye out for that as well. So, you know, we have so many different sales on Amazon, you know, so keep an eye out for those. Or you can keep an eye on their website. Yeah, Kelly says they seem to go on special often. I'd wait for the special, in my opinion. I agree. It's not one of those things where you absolutely have to run out and get it right now. I would absolutely wait. Now, one thing I do want to say, speaking of waiting for things to be on sale, is have you all heard the controversy around the Honey app? That Honey thing that gets you all the special discounts for things and what it actually does behind the scenes. So let me know if anyone wants me to have a little 5-second rant about Honey and about why you need to uninstall that thing right now. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. So I'm all about helping you guys get the best deals, but yeah. Leanne says my budget is tight, so for me, I have a hand wider one. I wouldn't purchase one at 120. Yep, absolutely. Sue Ellen says, oh my God, yes. Is that yes that you want me to rant about Honey for 5 seconds? Oh, it'll be longer than 5 seconds. Let's be honest. It'll be longer than 5 seconds. Okay. Honey is not an app for dating. No, Honey is an app that a lot of, especially creators, recommended for people to install to go and find. Like basically you go shopping on any website, you have the Honey extension installed on your computer or your phone or whatever it is that you're using. And basically you would be, you know, say you would decide, I'm going to stick this in my cart. I want this ball winder. I've used Chantelle's affiliate link to get it over there. That's cool. And then I'm going to click on my Honey's popped up and going, hey, do you want me to look for some better deals and better discounts on this? And you're like, hells yes, I do. Thank you, Honey. And click on it. And then Honey goes, oh yeah, look, I found you this 10% off, or I found you, oh, sorry, no, I don't have any deals for you. Honey in the background have actually been deleting people's cookies. So the tracking cookie, that would mean that I get the commission for this. Now they do, or their parent company PayPal does. They actually, there's a video from a guy called Megalag. If someone can grab a link for that, that would be great. It goes into the full issues. Now that's the issue from my side, right? That it actually physically removes my tracking link and they get the commission for the sale. And even if they didn't find you a better deal, when you click OK or click anything on the box other than the X, their cookie is replaced. So they get their tracking cookie installed instead. Now, the other thing that is coming to light, Megalag is he's doing a whole series on Honey, so you need to go and watch it, especially if you're a Honey user. They say that they go and get you the best deals and the best discounts. They don't. You could probably do a 5-second Google search and find yourself better deals and better codes that may or may not work. They've been shown to totally miss discount codes because they had a sponsor for a specific discount code. So they'll only give you that code. So there's that side of it. And then apparently there's a new thing coming out where even the companies that have asked for Honey codes, even they're being screwed up. They're getting codes applied that are no longer valid, and it's actually costing some small businesses a lot of money. So Honey is doing things left, right, and center that are really, really dodgy. So if you use Honey, I would consider uninstalling it until you find out more, right? Or go and watch the videos and find out more and make the judgment for yourself. But for me personally, any extension, any app, anything that removes your choices and removes what you think you're doing. Like you think you're following my Amazon link and, oh yeah, Chantelle will get her little 2% commission on that, but I don't. PayPal do. And this is like, for me, it's not so much of a biggie, right? Because I don't get that much income from, let's be real honest. I'm lucky if I make like $10 a quarter from Amazon, right? But there's people out there whose whole businesses are around affiliate sales and their recommendations, and they lose it all because of the Honey app. So it is really, really dodgy. And it's not just creators and people with the affiliate links that it's affecting. They're not giving you the best discounts. They're giving you the discounts that help them the best. And even if they can't find you a discount, they still take the sales commission from the person. Megalag does a fantastic video on it. Go and watch it. It's worth the watch. It's actually a really fun video. I'd never watched any of his videos before. I've subscribed now. He teaches in a really cool way. So yeah. Leanne says, but I love PayPal. Why are they doing this? Because PayPal said free money. Free money! So that's why they're doing it. I would assume. But now there is actually a class action lawsuit going out against Honey. And part of that lawsuit, they probably won't get any money out of it, but part of it is a cease and desist to stop doing it. So there we go. That is my rant about Honey. I would like to move on. If you've got any questions, let me know. I may not have the answers, but all I can recommend is that you go to the Megalag video and go and check that out for yourself. I'm not sure. Oh, thank you. Kelly's grabbed the link for the Megalag video. And apparently he's got another video coming with more. Kelly says, I hope it's the right one. Yeah, it should be. Leanne's grabbed one as well, the Honey video. Yeah, it's got a ton of views. Tons of people are shocked, right? There's a lot of people that are just like, what? Because so many people, like, it was highly recommended. It was highly recommended by a lot of people to be this really great thing for you to save your own money, right? Gamer Widows. Ooh, I show up and there's a soapbox rant. It's marvelous. Oh. Welcome to 2025, where there will still be soapbox rants. That's not changing. It's not changing. All right, let's put this guy aside. Does anybody else have any questions about this big bad boy? He is big. Like, he's going to be able to take some serious yarn. Like, I mean, that's going to be, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a test and see. I've got cones of yarn with like 500 grams and I've got a cone up to about 4 kilos. And just see how much it will actually go on there before it stops. Hopefully it doesn't break it, but I tend to do that with all of my, with all my ball winders. I had one that I thought, oh, I've got a kilo cone of lace weight. It won't take that. And it took it, and it probably could have done more. It probably could have done more. So, all right, next thing, I'm going to have a drink. Let me know in the chat, like, are you as shocked as I am that a company would do what Honey has done? I mean, I'm not shocked. They worked around it. It's technically not illegal, I don't think. Well, I mean, I personally think they're going against Amazon's terms of services, and I'm sure probably other companies. Amazon are really, really specific about their terms of service for an affiliate account, right? So you have to use an Amazon link or a Genius link. You're allowed to use those. But you have to have a specific wording of, I use Amazon's, I'm an Amazon affiliate, blah, 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 blah. It's in my description, like the actual Amazon proper thing. And it has to be above your link. So technically my KD link is above it's an affiliate. All right. But it's supposed to be, and I've seen people lose their affiliate accounts just for something as simply as putting their links above and just writing, I earn commission from some links. You know, they weren't specific, and I've seen them lose their whole affiliate because of it. These guys don't let you know that they're changing the link at all. And I'm like, how is that not against Amazon's terms of service? Honestly, how is it not? And then I'm like, do I really want to jump up and down on this? Because I kind of need PayPal for a few different things, like the Fibrific web store, plus how one of my clients pays me. And I'm just like, oh well, I'm still going to jump up and down. Kelly says, I'm not shocked by Honey's action, but I'm glad it's being exposed. Leanne says, I am shocked, especially that it's PayPal behind it. Kelly says, too many people are out to rip other people off. Florida, like, and that's another discussion. It's that the app is available in both Android and the Apple stores. So yeah, just lots and lots of things. Yeah, look, Leanne, I mean, I don't love PayPal, but I think PayPal is a fantastic tool. But to know that they own an app or an extension that's doing this, like, really? And they know it's doing it because, like, as you'll see, like, in the Mega Lag video, he kind of gets a bit, you know, kind of called out Linus Tech Tips because apparently they worked out that there was something happening with their affiliates a couple of years ago and just stopped accepting sponsors from them, but didn't actually come out publicly and say why. But apparently they like the Linus Tech Media Group, they went to Honey and said, hey, your thing's doing this thing, you need to stop it. And they went, no, we're not stopping it. So they know it happened. So Honey knows that's how they're making their money outside of all the rest of it. So, I mean, yeah. Right. Hydrating is happening. I did see the hydrate, Sally. Thank you. And the little dancing dude is really cute. I love it. I love the GIFs. Let me know in the chat. Are you finding the GIFs annoying yet? Like, I thought you guys get over it and not enjoy it. But in the chats that I'm in, where I still get to use the GIFs and the chat commands, I love it. I have so much fun with it. But let me know. Do you still enjoy the chat commands? They're fun. Yeah, they are fun. They are fun. All right. Holly likes them. That's good. And Kelly's just gone crazy with the party emojis on the emoji wall. Holly's like, bring the coffee. Look at this. You guys are having fun with it. And one of the things I do love about it as well is that it actually, like, if, like, you know, we have coffee and Happy Dance and Yeti all come in sort of together, it actually backs them up one to one. It doesn't just stop them or play them over the top of each other. It allows them to queue up. And I think that's pretty cool as well. So that was a surprising bonus. I didn't know that was going to happen. Christina Trotter, good to see you in the chat. Bianca says, yeah, they're good fun. I like the interactivity. Me too. Me too. If there is something in particular that you would like me to try and make another GIF one for, let me know. I'm obviously limited to GIFs of what I can actually find. So let me know if there is something in particular that you do want. I don't, yeah, Kelly wants a soapbox. I don't know what you would use. Like, I'll have to have a look. So that's the other thing. I can only use GIFs from Jiffy. I can't even use GIFs from Tenor. It doesn't let me. So if you can find me the GIF on Jiffy and send me that, double bonus. Otherwise, I'll go hunting for it. So we have a new segment. There is a new segment. So we had our fun tools. We have a new segment. Leanne says just the words yes and no. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, I like that idea. Yeah. Although I think I prefer the yeses and the nos to just come up in the chat rather than like if I was like, hey, you know, do you have a drink ready? And then everyone starts hitting the yes. That could back up quite some time. Yeah. Supposed to be packing for an 18-hour drive via the back of Burke to the Gold Coast, but can't be bothered. Russell does enjoy watching the little cowboy fly across my nose. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I think with the yes and no, it might get, I like the idea. I just think it would end up like, you know how we said they queue up? I think it would just queue up for the stream. So, but I do like the idea for sure. Definitely. Alrighty. Let us try this new thing. We have to see if it works. I made a thing. Prepare your ears. I don't know if it's any good. Alrighty. Okay. It's prepare your ears. I haven't checked the volumes. All right. So. I think I would like to make it a bit longer so it doesn't just end on that. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with that. So we've got our next little thing, the Ravelry tidbits. That was loud. All right, I will work on that. Yeah, I will work on that. Love the graphics. Bit too loud though. Okay. Yep. All right. That's why I was like, guard your ears, because I wasn't sure how loud it would come through for you guys. And it definitely came through my speakers again, which just, it shouldn't be. So, yeah. So hopefully you weren't getting double volume, because you could have been. Jiffy has some neat gifs of kitties and yarn. Yeah. Oh, it just startled you? Yeah. Well, it was loud. It was loud. But all right, so let's jump in. We're going to jump over. I've actually got it set up so that not today, because I want to play with it some more, but I've got it set so that it will actually drop straight into my screen share over here on Ravelry. Hello, Ravelry screen share. We are in dark mode on Ravelry. So those of you that don't like white mode, don't have to worry about it. We are instantly on dark mode. But last week we had a discussion about using goals and using their challenge tool. Hang on, come back here. I've got a box in the wrong spot. Go away, little box. You are not where I want you to be. All right. Oh yeah, you had no idea where it was coming from because you had another stream up. That's funny. But basically, we were discussing the challenges. So I put in a support ticket to Ravelry to ask, like, you know, what's the deal? Are they off or on? And they are on. And they got back to me and they said, hey, look, you know, we'll add that to the list of things for the Code Monkey to look at. And lo and behold, when I double checked it all yesterday, it was all functioning. So how we add a challenge onto our Ravelry queues. This is a challenge to make it so that we can have a goal, like a goal set of projects for 2025. So what we need to do is we go over to our notebook, we go to projects, click on projects, then over here on the top right, we have the word challenge here. Click on challenge, and now the 2025 Ravelry project challenge is live. It is absolutely available. So how many projects do you want to finish in 2025? Now, this is not a set in stone thing. You can actually adjust this. So if you're really like, oh yeah, I'm going to do 50 projects if your name is Tamantha and you make 45 pairs of socks a year. I'm going to make 50 projects, but then something happens, like you have to have wrist surgery or something, you can come back and readjust it. Or if, like me, last year, I only set 12 as my goal. So I wanted to up that goal. I wanted to get it to 16. And so not only did I change it and set it to 16, but I actually completed that because I hit 17 goals. So what we do is what I'm thinking of doing for now, I'm going to add in 12. 12 is going to be my goal. So I've set my goal and I've technically already completed 2 things for the year. So I've done 2 out of my 12. So I've made a birthday project, which I don't want to dig in too much because sometimes the birthday recipient watches the live streams, but they're not on Ravelry. And then I also made a granny lap warmer. So I'll just quickly show you that. If it will let me. Come on, Ravs. There it is. So I had like the leftover yarn from the mosaic blanket. So I made this guy, which is a little small, but I used up every scrap except for these couple of little bits and like this is the white that's left over that we rewound. That's the white. The other bits were even smaller. They're around somewhere. Or did I bin them? I might have binned them. I might have gone, do you know what? Bye-bye. But yeah, so I made this blanket. It's about, I think it worked out to be about 85 centimeters by about 85 centimeters. So it is a dash on the smaller side, but it used all the yarn. So that, I finished that in a couple of days. And I think it was also my first granny in the round as a full blanket. I usually do squares. Off the top of my head, I don't remember having ever done one of those. But so I've already got my 2 projects for the year. So what will happen is whenever I actually go into a project, so if I just go into my usual projects, so say I go into the Moonicati and I actually go in here and I change the status to finished, that automatically adds it to the challenge as completed. There's no other steps that you have to do other than add your projects to Ravelry, and as you complete them, change the status to finished, which I don't want to do because this is not finished yet. So, and that's all you have to do. And that will automatically tally it into your goal for 2025. So let me know in the chat or in the comments, is this something that you're going to jump in? Are you going to have some fun and create a challenge for yourself? Because you're only challenging yourself. This is not a Ravelry wide thing. This is just a challenge for you to make sure you add your projects to Ravelry, make sure they jump in and add them in and finish them, and then they get counted automatically in your challenges. So I think you have to add the date finished to, you do? I normally do automatically anyway, but I know you definitely have to have finished as the thing. Well, we can test it. I can, let's just test it. All right, let's go back to the screen share. Yeah, it's only a count. It's only a count. You can't specify, I want to make 12 of these, 6 of these, 4 of these. You can't do that. It's just a count of your completed items. So, oh, that's the wrong thing. Screen share with the circle camera. All right, there we go. So what I'm going to do is we're going to test it because I thought it was just finished and I don't want to be telling you the wrong thing. So finished, save changes. Now let's go back to projects and challenge. No, you're right. That one didn't get counted. So I think we do have to put in the dates. So let me just go back and then, oh, I've got to find it now. Dang it. Finished. Where are you? Oh, Moonicati, where are you? Did I write finished or did I write something else? Maybe, I'm like, where is it? I don't even know where it's gone. Don't tell me I deleted it. Did I delete the whole dang thing? Can somebody see it and I'm just blind to the Moonicati? All right, let's go in alphabetical. There it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. No, definitely put it. So let's add in a finish date of today. I nearly had a heart attack. Okay. I nearly had a heart attack. It's fine. Save changes. Now let's go back over to projects, challenge. There it is. All right. You do. You have to put in the end date. Okay. All right. So we just need to add in our project, complete it, and add the end date. Adding just finished doesn't work. You have to put in the end date. So, yeah. All right. Well, I need to go and fix the Moonicati because it is not finished and I don't want it to be done. It's not finished. Edit. It's not finished. We're still in progress and we don't have an end date. Can we remove that end date? Save changes. Okay. It's a work in progress still, so that is good. All right. Oh no, it has done something there. Oh man, let's have a look. Projects by, whoops, Muna is back there. So that is good. It's all that matters. Anything else is a boner. So yeah, bonus. Just say half a word and it just means something totally different. Oh gosh. So yeah, so that is available now. We've done no craft today. There's been no craft. Like, let's start our new projects. Yay! No craft. Okay, what I wanted to talk about is I had a plan. Yeah. I'm not, yeah, no, moving on. So, one of the things that I did want to talk about was I had a plan, right? So in my queue, I had a project that I was going to be getting started. It's actually set up as an unfinished, like as a whip. So I was going to start the Winnie's Wonderworld, the loopy stitch blanket. It's gorgeous. But then I realized, and because I pulled the yarn aside for it, I was just like, got the book out, everything is good to go. I'm ready to start this project, and I was going to start this project. One slight problem is that while I was like, oh yeah, I got enough meters to do this blanket, blah, 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 I don't have enough of meters in particular colors. And I don't think I can reorder like same colors, and I don't have enough colors. Like I was supposed to have like, I think it was 12 or 13 and I've only got 9. So unfortunately, I'm unable to do that particular blanket how I was going to do it. So I am going to be removing that from Ravelry, rejigging it, because what I would really love to do is I want to make, let me just look here. I've got my project. I need in my queue. Where's my queue? I can't remember what it was called. Nature's Walk Standard Blanket by Sandra Paul. It's a free, there is a free version available, which is what I was going to be using. I think you can buy the PDF. Yeah, you can buy the PDF. Did I buy it? No, I just downloaded the free version. So, it's a free Ravelry download. So there is an optional buy that you can go to her website and buy. Anyway, let me just jump back to the screen share so you can see what I'm looking at. I was going to be just making this blanket with just making it smaller using some Bendigo 4-ply that I've already got, because I need a project for this yarn. I've just got 3 balls of this in Bendigo 4-ply pure cotton. And I really love how it came up as a straight up granny. And I was tossing up just to do like a pile of little granny squares and stitching them together. But I thought, I'll just get bored, right? Like, let me know. Would you, like, I think this is gorgeous, right? I just think it's beautiful. I love that it feels amazing. I just love it, right? But I honestly believe, because I don't want to just do it as a big one, I think that would just be cumbersome. Also, I prefer rectangle blankets than square blankets. Like, let me know in the chat. Do you prefer rectangular blankets or square blankets when you're making blankets? So I wanted to be able to control the layout so I could make it more rectangular than square. But I do only have 3 balls of this, which I think comes out to about 2,000 meters. Throw things. I don't even know what I was doing then. So what I'm thinking I'll do is instead, yes, rectangle all the way, rectangular from Knit Spin Girls. Yeah. Because it's just like, I see, like, if you're making a baby blanket or something like that, a square blanket, sure, I get it. But for anybody else, I think rectangular is better. Anyway, what I'm thinking of doing, and this is where I'm a little bit torn, is again, I still don't have the meterage, I don't think. Like, how many, like, let's just go here. I've somehow I switched one of my things, definitely rectangular. There we go. All right. So this is the yarn that I have, right? It's in really pretty pastels, and it's just gorgeous, right? Abby's repeatedly in her room. Just gorgeous. So these are the colours that I have, right? Oh, did I just drop a ball? No. Did I? No. Okay. So these are so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 9 colours, plus I have 6 of the cotton in the I don't know what colour this is called. White, beige, whatever, cream. And I thought I could make a different kind of blanket. So I'm thinking so let's do some math. Mathery do. How many meters? 235 meters times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, because I have the extra one. 235 by 15. No one's a smart aleck and can do that one in their head, right? If they are, shh. 235 times 15, 3,500 meters, which is just in the middle of the thing. Leanne says, I can. You stop that. You stop that, Leanne. So for the Nature's Walk standard, they're like 3,475 to 3,658. Oh, you're hilarious, Leanne. So what I'm thinking is, how many, like, do they specify? I'm just having a read. Because I'm thinking, because I was just going to use this, the blue the blue cotton here. I was just going to use that and just make all the squares in the one color, and do the Nature's Walk with that. But I'm thinking it could be really sweet with this. But I'm just like, how many colors do I need? What do I need for it? They're like, oh, you need 28 50-gram balls. What are these? These are 100-gram balls. Please be 100-gram balls. 100-gram balls. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15. So I've got 30 100-gram balls. So I well and truly make it in, you know, that regard. But do they specify how many? Do they specify how many of the outside we need to? I think I opened up the pattern. I have the pattern. Let's have a look. Does it actually specify? So it wants 850, so 200 grams. No, so 8 times 50 is 400 grams of the, I'm assuming that's the outer color, because everything else is like 3s and 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They only use 7 colors, so 6 plus more. So, look, I think it could. I don't quite have enough. I can make it work. I can make it work, couldn't I? And you guys are all just judging me. You're just judging me like, no, Chantelle, you can't make it work. It's not going to work. Because basically it's like the pattern has got like 6 different squares. You make like 8 of each square or something. And you know, I could jimmy up the colors, couldn't I? Some of them could have 2 squares of I don't know. Would you guys give it a try is my question. Just do 1 row less or something. I don't know if it's like, I think it would be just on the border thing I could do less for sure. I could definitely make the border a bit smaller for sure. My concern is more the squares, because I want like 150 to 200 grams of each color for the different colors. I've got more colors, but less of the color. So, you know, I just don't know. Let me just look at, let's just do what we recommend everybody does, which is go into Ravelry and look at the other projects. Let's see what other people did. Let's see what other people did. I clicked it. I already clicked it, computer. There we go. Okay. I don't know. Oh, it does look nice in a solid color. Leanne says, I think you could work it out with what you have. I do think I could work it out. I honestly do. Go the jiggery pokery. I've got the right meters. I just don't have the right, mixture of meters. Because that's gorgeous. Look at that. That's so beautiful. But it would just mean like I have an extra couple of colors. And so, because it appears like this particular person here who's made this gorgeous blanket, it looks like they've done like each of the pattern designs had its own color. And that would just mean I just don't do that. And that doesn't actually bother me. It is a beautiful blanket, honestly. It's absolutely gorgeous. Because what I was looking for, right, like the long and the short is, I was looking for a project that was a little bit mindless. I wanted something that I could just sit down and work on. I didn't want it to be big and bulky like all the blankets I did at Christmas were all single piece blankets except for the purple one, which is still quite large pieces. I wanted something smaller that I could... The ultimate goal is I wanted to get me on a roll to piece together a small blanket. And why? Because I need to piece together my fusion blanket. And I wanted to get on a roll of like, oh yeah, I'm already doing this. Why not just do this as well? Because that's how my brain works, right? Like when I was doing the gauge swatches for my tops, because that's the other thing I've got coming this year is I've already got 2 tops swatched, which I'll show you the swatches for those. I'll show you the patterns I've chosen. Is that I did one and went, well, I'm going to have to wash and pin and dry this swatch. I may as well do the other swatch I want to do. So why not just do both? Just do both together. And sometimes I need to do that with my brain. Like, why not just do this extra thing? Like, it's just a little thing. Don't even worry about it. You're already sitting here. You already got the yarn out. Why not just make that extra swatch? So the other thing that I've got, so I'll jump in here to the screen share. In my queue, I have got some extra tops. So I've got this Siva top. I picked up a pattern pack from Knit Picks. They had like a pile of their little pattern packs on sale. So I've picked this up and I'm going to be making this one with come out, little tangled thing. This is the swatch. So it's come out like the stitches have come out just a little off, not enough for me to be concerned. All right, so let me just there we go. So I'm going to be doing with the Friends. What's it called? Oops. Cotton Friends. Sorry, I've got a light that bangs on the table when I lift the lid. The Cotton Friends, which is a cotton silk blend. And so I did the swatch. The swatch has been washed. I swatched in the round so that because the top is knit in the round, so I wanted the swatch to be in the round. After last week when you guys showed me the thing that I needed to be doing, game changer, total game changer. So I'm getting an extra stitch. No, which way is it? I can't remember. I've got it in my notes, but there's 1 extra stitch wide and 1 less stitch high. So all I need to do is just add in some extra rows and I'll have a little bit of extra a little bit of extra ease, and I don't care about that. So I'm not going to re-swatch it because changing my needles is not going to solve the problem because I've got too many stitches one way and then not enough stitches the other way. So that is all down to my knitting. So I just have to adjust for that. Now, if it was too many stitches both ways, bringing down the needle, increasing the needle size would fix that. But because it's 1 in each direction, it's not going to fix it. So I've got that. Now I can't show the other swatch because it's a bit further away, but I will also be making, I'm back to the screen share. So this is the top. I'll come up close with some of the pictures. It's just a V-neck singlet. I have plenty enough yarn for it, so I should even be able to give it a bit of length, like just a smidgy dash extra length that I'd like to give it. So hopefully I can do that as well. But that's what I'm going to be making with the purple. And then I'm going to be making another rocket tee. So I made this guy using this pattern. So hang on a second. So I made this guy using that pattern, which I absolutely love it. The panettone was just that, like, this is sparkly, right? So it's special occasions only. Ignore my ends that still need to be trimmed. This has been washed and blocked and all that sort of stuff. But it's sparkly, and I'm not going to wear it all the time, right? So I wanted a version that I would be happy to wear more often. So again, I'll put in the arm lace work, but I will again be not adding it in down the side. So in her sweater version, it's down the side. But as I'm making a t-shirt version, I don't need people to see inside my t-shirts. So I'll just be making it short sleeved again, but I'll be using my, I think, did I mark the orange or the pink? I can't remember, but I'm using that Bendigo Woolen Mills Cotton Solstice for either in the mandarin or in the pink. I can't remember which one I chose. I think I chose the mandarin. Maybe did I don't even know. I don't care. I would wear it neither. So those two, and then also, which I haven't swatched yet, is this Port Townsend. That's a terrible photo. It's this V-neck that gets me. I love it. I think that's beautiful detailing. You can't see my screen. Port Townsend, this V-neck sweater, which I just think is gorgeous. So it's this V-neck that really, really gets me. Sorry, I got something just flew in my eye. And it's just a really interesting take on some block colors. I'm not a big fan of block colors. Some of these are a bit brighter than I would probably wear. Not a big fan of block colors usually, but I thought I will use some of the beautiful wool that I've got in my Jethro sweater. I have got a ridiculous amount of those colors left over, except for the gray. Actually, even including the gray, because I bought a second bag. I've got a ridiculous number of those yarns. So I'm going to make another sweater, like a pullover, in the same yarn, in the same colors, and just choose 4 of the colors to do some block work with. So I've never really done block color like that before. It's always been something I've actually strategically avoided, but I think I could do it. I think I could do it. But that neckline every time, it's just really interesting. And I like how it like color changed. And then there's the full solid V. I actually really like that. So they are some of the things, some of the projects, the wearables that I plan on making for 2025. I'm still getting used to saying 2025. So I have two new blankets that I want to do. I've got 2 blankets that I still want to finish. And I've got a handful of wearables, plus also there'll be little bits and pieces that get added along the way because, you know, shiny things. I need to allow for shiny things in my Ravelry queue of awesome. Game Widow says, I have many things on my list, but absolutely no energy to start them. I get that. I understand that. I am trying really hard not to start new things because I want to finish my Moona cardigan and I want to finish my Jethro. So where I'm up to with the Jethro is I'm up to adding in the cuff on the first sleeve. I increased the needle size up to 5.5 millimeters, which just feels ridiculously huge, but actually sits really nicely. So then I just got to the other sleeve, block it, add the buttons, done. Like, whoa. So that one will be ready for winter. Woohoo! So yeah. Is that all overwhelming and a ridiculous amount of information? Let me know in the chat. And we got 0 craft done, but we talked about craft. We played with the Kado ball winder. We learnt a new thing on Ravelry. I realized my project that's been my driving force to finish off projects for the end of year is not going to work. because I don't have the right yarn for it and I don't want to buy the yarn for it. So I've had to readjust that to hopefully be something just as beautiful. I do need to do some jiggery pokery in my queue to fix it up and clean it up. I had actually thought that I'd put all my clear as cotton in my stash. I'll need to check that. What is this? Wait a second. There's a button here. Oh no. Uh-oh. I'm so sorry. I saw a button I haven't clicked before and it inserted an ad. That's awful. That's awful. I'm not happy. I was like, what does that button do? And it doesn't like, usually you can hover over something and it tells you what it is, but it was too late. I'm sorry. So those of you, yeah, sorry guys. The button that I thought was something else was the insert an ad button. And I'm so sorry, because if I had known that, I would not have pressed it. So I'm so sorry. That there was a new button and I rather than just hover it, I went, oh, what's that? And clicked on it. And I should have, I'm so used to it being a pop-up for a decision that it was not a pop-up for a decision, especially in that spot. Everything else is a pop-up for a decision. And I'm so sorry that you all just got ads. Kelly didn't. I wouldn't have, because I've got YouTube Premium, but those of you, and the other thing is, you may not have gotten it if you were served an ad at the start. So, you know, depends. YouTube doesn't always give everybody ads, which is why you can't just go to an ad and sit here and do nothing, because there'll be plenty of people like watching you do nothing. So it's all good. I learned a thing. Don't press that button again unless you really actually want to insert an ad. Sorry about that. I hope it wasn't unclickable or awful and you've got to sit there for 30 minutes or something. So we need to press. I know, I couldn't resist it. I had to press the button. What does this new button do? Because there's actually another spot for adding ads in. There's a whole other button for it. So I didn't think it was that. So I'm very sorry. For those of you that are here all this time, you hang out for 2 hours with me in a live stream and then boom, have an ad. Buttons aren't toys. Buttons are toys. They are. I had to smush the button. Sorry about that. Sorry, everybody, as you're coming back from the randomly inserted ad. I didn't actually know that's what it was going to do, so I'm very sorry. But yeah, my next task will be adding all the clear as cotton to my Ravelry queue. I could have sworn I already had it in there, but I'll double check. Maybe I do and just hadn't connected it to the project. That'll actually be good because yeah, sorry, my brain just paused for a second there. It was just like, yeah, so I just don't think I actually attached the yarn to the project. So that'll be handy because I'll be able to attach it to this other project instead, a lot easier rather than whatever it is that I need to do to unattach yarn from a project, which I've never done before, so I don't know. Do we have to do anything? Can we just delete the project and then the yarn automatically goes back? I don't know. But yeah, 10 points if you know the quote. I don't know the quote. I'm sorry. Buttons aren't for sewing. I throw those out. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so yeah, I haven't missed any chats, so that is good. But I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think the Nature's Walk in these colors will actually be really pretty. They're really like beautiful pastels. This is a bit brighter, but they're pretty good colors together. Lots of this to do the border with. Actually, believe it or not, I haven't seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I've started watching it multiple times, never got all the way through for whatever reason. Usually it wasn't the show, usually something happening around that would mean I would have to stop watching it. And I have not read the book. I know. I know some of the quotes, some of the popular quotes, but yeah, it's like a shame. I'm ashamed that I haven't actually done this yet. But yeah, so it will still be a blanket. It'll just be a different blanket than what I had anticipated. This will be a blanket. it will be a different, because I was going to make this as the I was going to make this as the nature's walk. So I'll have to unattach that yarn, add this yarn, and go from there. So yes, so you know, everything's still happening. I suggest the audiobooks. It's really good. I was actually thinking, and this is an idea I had, and let me know in the chat if this is something that you would be interested in doing. So what I was thinking of doing was having like a book club over on the Discord where we listen to the audiobook. I mean, you can read the paper if you want, but I'm thinking listen to the audiobook while we like craft and stuff like that. And then we come back and we, you know, whether we chat about it or whether we just say we liked it or didn't like it, I don't know what degree we would go into it. I don't want to set like listening limits, like you must listen up to chapter such and such by this date so we can have a discussion. I don't want that. I don't want that. I do just want to have a spot where we can recommend and enjoy books together, even audiobooks. So yeah, Emma's like, you don't want my reading suggestions. They're absolute trash. Holly says that would be fun. Because that's the thing. We may all have very different audio things. So what I'll do is my Audible is currently turned off. Like I'm not currently paying for books. So what I can do is anyone who wants in, I'll grab a link to try and get you like some free months of Audible. And so you can get started and at least have one book where you can hang out with us. So keep your eyes peeled. It'll take me a little minute to get that sorted out. And I'll just start a book. And if you guys want to join in on that book, you can. If you don't want to, you can start your own book. And we can all just add in the books that we're listening to. But I think ideally I'd love it if we could all listen to the same book at a similar time. I think that would be pretty cool. But I will have a book of the month. Like the book that I'm listening to for a month, or thereabouts. I don't know how long it'll take me. I usually listen to books at night, before I go to bed. So I have to re-listen because I fall asleep. So we'll have to, it'll be a play it by ear. Holly says that the book club that I'm in has been nice because even has such different tastes and it's helped me to expand my reading. That is awesome. Bianca, like obviously, like not all the books would be Audible only, so you could possibly grab them from like your local library's audio book section area. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but there would be that possibility if you don't have Audible. But yeah, we can have a start. And I will try not to start with some rich science fiction, all right? I'll try and start with something a bit broader because that is my general go-to is like dystopian science fiction. Game Widow says, I used to be a literature reader, then cozy mysteries, and I gave up my standards and dove into trashy, was available. Yep. Leanne loves this. It sounds great because she loves audiobooks. Yeah. And I think that like, I think if we can make it so that it's more of an encouragement to each other just to read and talk about what we're reading or what we're listening to. I do count audiobooks as reading. It's still being injected into your brain. Holly says I would start with epic fantasy. I mean, I would love to start with an epic fantasy. That would be so cool. What I'll do is I'll create a section, or I think we actually had a section over there and revamp that, but have a section over there and we can talk about what it is that we'd like to start reading. And it can just be something like some of us may have like a few books lined up in our Audibles that we haven't listened to yet. So it could be that. And I really think just having it so that we're all just listening to something, and I love if we could broaden each other's reading a little bit more. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of like trashy romances. It's not really my thing. I did many years ago try to listen to, what was that one? It's a series of books. It's like the time travel thing in Scotland, and there's a TV series now. Can't think of it. Someone in the chat's going to bring it. They're going to bring it. They're going to be like, oh yeah, that was enough for me to know what it was. Outlander. Thank you, Knitspin Girls. Outlander. I tried so hard, but Oh, and Holly and the Game Widows. Yeah, I tried. I tried so hard with the Outlander. I really did, because so many people were like, "It's fantastic." What got me was there was a little bit of a scene, and I just couldn't deal with it because the reader of the audiobook sounded like my nana. Like, she has the same voice as my nana, because my nana's Scottish. And I could not listen to Nana describing these scenes. So I'm like backing out. I just can't. Because it was too much. What about mysteries that involve crafting? Yeah, we can definitely look into those too. I've got a few paper, like actual, like Dead Tree editions of a lot of those. There's a couple of different authors who write knitting and crochet mysteries. And I've got a couple of those in Dead Tree editions. I don't think I have any of them in audio. I'll have to have a look. Sal says, I love the series, but I couldn't get into the book. Alison said it was too much. It was just a bit too much. It was a lot. I couldn't, it was awkward enough with the scenes. It was doubly awkward that Nana was reading them to me, you know? So, yeah. Spicy's the word. Spicy's the great word. It was definitely too spicy for Nana to be reading it to me. And so it was awkward enough. I was already blushing enough. And then, oh my gosh, Nana is reading this to me. Because that's how my brain described this lady. Like she's a phenomenal book narrator. But my brain went, that sounds like Nana. And from then on, it was Nana. And then it's like, no, I can't do this. Yeah, not driving, listening to some of those audios. Yeah, absolutely. I've learned that I cannot listen to the series of audiobooks that I listen to every night before I go to sleep. I listen to the same series over and over again, have done for about 10 years. They make me drowsy. My brain goes, oh, it's sleepy time. And you're like, no, I'm driving the car. So they don't get played in the car anymore. No. Even if I'm in a good bit and I want to hear that bit, I have to wait. So, Game Widows is like, here is a bus, Leanne. Do not think about any of that stuff. But yeah, so we'll have a little look about it. I love a good murder mystery. I like the Franny Fisher mysteries from the original author. Like, so they are different than the TV series, which I also love, but they are different. They are really good. We've got a lot of options. We have so many options. And that's the thing. Like, if 1 month I'm listening to something that you're not interested in, that's okay. You can listen to whatever you want. There's no rules here. I just want to make it so that we're all, for me particular, I realized how much I've missed reading, right? So when I started having to wear reading glasses, I stopped reading before going to bed. I used to read Dead Tree editions before I went to bed every single night. I'm an avid reader. I would knock over a novel in 2 or 3 nights, purely because I couldn't stay up all night reading, because I used to do that. I would be like sucked into a book and then realize it's 4 a.m. And so I used to do that a lot. And then when I had to start wearing reading glasses, I didn't enjoy it as much. I didn't find the reading in bed anywhere near as comfortable. I don't sit up to read in bed. I lay down to read, and I lay on my side. So I've got my glasses on, you know, so I couldn't get as comfy. So, it's just really, I've really missed it. And then I've just scored from a good friend a whole collection of new Dead Tree editions to read, and I want to read those, but I also have other books that I want to read as well, so I'll listen to those. Leanne says, I've just listened to Miranda Hart's new book. It's really enlightening. That's a true, like, I'm going to be really honest, I probably won't listen to any true stuff. I don't cope well with true stuff. I don't like nonfiction. I'm not good with it, especially if it's a bit heart-wrenching. And if it's a little bit graphic, like as in violence, I do not cope. I end up having really bad nightmares. So I can't watch things based on true stories. And I really hate it when I've been like watching a really like great movie and I'm like this is fantastic, really enjoying. Then right at the end, it'll be like, this is based on these true events. And I'm like, oh my God, that's it. And therefore I have nightmares for weeks because I realize real people can do these awful things. So when it's just a mystery or like a crime drama, it's fine. I want to, but I can't deal with like true stuff. So I don't really read autobiographies. In saying that, I absolutely loved Will Wheaton's, and also oh my God, my brain won't give me her name. She plays violin. She's an actress. She was in Supernatural. She ran Geek and Sundry. My brain won't give me her name. Oh my gosh, I can picture her as she's growing up. I've watched so much of her. Felicia Day. Felicia Day. Hers was phenomenal as well. So, you know, I do read them. I just have to, I'm really picky. And I've heard some sad stuff about Miranda's. So, yeah, it is. It was Felicia Day. Yeah. Bianca says, no, I want escapism in my entertainment. I'm the same. Simon Pegg wrote one. It was very funny. And that's the thing. If it's just a fun one, and that, because Felicia Day's was funny as well and fun. And while there was some sad stuff in Will Wheaton's, it was told in a way that was a bit more lighthearted and was just like, well, you know, at the end of the day, this is where I am now. So that's a bit different, I think. But yeah, Game Winner says spicy audiobooks got me through Bendigo prep. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm really excited that you guys are like positive about this. I just wasn't sure if it was just a me thing, you know, like, because let's be honest, sometimes we do some stuff here where it's all about me. I just want to do it, so we're going to do it. But I'm really excited that you guys are actually, you know, keen for some group audio listenings. Or just, you know, somewhere to chat about the things that we've been listening and watching. So I think there is actually already somewhere over in the Discord. It's just unused. Because I think we set it up. When we first set it up, we were talking about books, video games, and all sorts of things. So, but that was some time ago. Yeah. I'm like, I want to check Discord, but I'm not going to check Discord. I'm really worried that I'm getting sick. I've got the Bernie throat going on, and I'm like, Abby, did you give me something awful when you got sick? Because Abby's sick again. So I'm just trying to treat the symptoms. Treat the symptoms and watch the asthma so it doesn't get too bad. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a big week. Hopefully my Knit Pro stuff, all my new pouches will arrive. I'm going to be really honest. Like 100%. I can't take echinacea. I am such a disappointment to my hippie mum. Echinacea makes me literally vomit. It reacts something fierce. I can't take it. I was actually getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and we couldn't work out why, and it was because of the echinacea tablets. It was so terrible. My mum just felt awful because she was making me take them, even though I was like, I got sicker when I started taking these, Mum, and she was like, don't be ridiculous. But anyway, I'm going to be really super honest. When this Knit Pro stuff turns up, I am not waiting till next week to do live packing, because today I was like, oh, if they arrive for the stream, I can start loading them up on camera. I'm not going to wait. Okay. I'm not. I'll be like, oh my God, new things. I need to do it right now. Do you know how hard it is for me to wait? Like when a parcel arrives and I'm like, say it arrives on a Monday or a Tuesday, and I can't show you until Thursday, and I want to do like the full experience, and I've kind of got to sit there staring at it. It's so hard. It's so hard. You could record it for us. No. What a selfish friend. Yes, I am. I will definitely take a photo and share that they've arrived over on Instagram and maybe Facebook, although I'm tossing up what to do about Facebook and Instagram because, you know, Meta is removing all of its fact-checking and moderating features just because they're douchebags. So I'm not sure, like, what I'm going to do. I'm like, seriously, I'm still on Twitter, right? Like, douchebag runs Twitter too, so. Elderberry, all right. I don't know how I react with that. I'll have to check it. Just oops, hang on. Just vitamin C and lots of water and rest. I can't guarantee the rest. I do drink lots of water a lot of the time. Like this is, how big does this do? I get 2 of these out a day. It's just over a liter, I think. Yeah, it's just over a liter. It's 1,065 mils, and I have 2 of those a day. So I'm pretty good. Bianca says, don't you know I live vicariously through your yarn purchases? Look, I live vicariously through other people's yarn purchases. And I've been trying to be really good. My goal this year, I have a whole year, right? Because I want to have all my yarn in this room. I want it all to fit in my shelving over here. At the moment, it's a no. At the moment, it's not quite. Some of it is on the back, out in the back on the shelving out there, and some of it is in my bedroom on a chest of drawers that I would actually like to get rid of entirely and put some better storage there. So even if the better storage in my bedroom ends up being somewhere I can stick a crate of yarn, that I could live with that. But ultimately, I would like to go through and just have yarn that I absolutely love. Because let me know in the chat. Like I know we're over time. Let me know in the chat. Do you have yarn in your stash that you bought before your taste changed, and now you're just like, oh, I paid for it and I don't want to just throw it out, but man, I don't want to use it. I definitely have some of that yarn in my stash, and I just need to make some decisions about it and get rid of it and get it out of the way, because some of it's taking up a fair amount of space. Must we live with douchebags? Apparently so. If we like technology, we must deal with the douches. Have a hot toddy. I absolutely love a hot toddy, and I will totally have hot toddy tonight. I only drink hot toddies at night because I do add booze. I like to add whiskey or scotch to my hot toddies. For sore throat, hot water, lemon juice, honey, and then a Panadol, then sip. I can't put the Panadol in the drink because I know what you're doing there. I can't do that, but I can do the rest of it and then just have the Panadol. So I definitely can do that. Leanne says, I did have that, but it's gone to Charity Makers. See, I did that with some of the acrylic. Now this stuff is not acrylic. This stuff is stuff I spent proper money on. Amanda Vargo says, why not do a yarn trade? I absolutely love that idea, Amanda. And a little group of the friends of us that go to Caffeinated Crafters on the Saturdays, which is the once a month Caffeinated Crafter. We did that. We did last month, we did a mini swap where we had minis that we didn't like, and we all took them and we did mini swaps and trades and purchasings. And I would love to do that on a larger scale for sure. Absolutely. Because I think some of this stuff other people would love. It's just not for me anymore. Christina says, no, I knitted it all up for charity and only stuff I love is in my stash. That is awesome. I'm so glad. This Spin Girl says, absolutely. There's yarn in my stash that makes me wonder what I was thinking when I bought it. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm the same. I'm absolutely the same. I was thinking about doing, who was it? 11 Windmills, I think. She's running like, well, not running, but sort of running a mystery sock thing where you use your own stash and you go through and you pick out like 8 or 12 or whatever the number is that you want of sets to make socks throughout the year, and then you wrap it up and then you randomly pick out one, and that's the one you're going to work on, right? And whether or not you add the pattern in there or not or whatever, that's up to you. I was going to do that, and then I was like, oh, well, I've got 2 skeins there. I don't want to make socks out of that. Oh, I don't have a mini that goes there, and that's what made me realize that I'll have a lot of yarn that doesn't actually work with other yarn, and I need to solve that. Yeah. It's like, what was I thinking? Was I under duress? Nispin Girl says, I did that sock yarn thing. My family think I'm nuts. No, I think it's fantastic. I wanted to do it, but I could only find like 5 things. And then I was just like, yeah, I want to go through everything and have a good look and decide. And then it was just like, well, if I want to do any more, then I could probably just, but the point of it is by the time you start, getting a bit further down the year, you'll forget what you packed up. And that's kind of the excitement part. But if you've only got a couple there, So, but no, I think that would be so fun. I love the idea so much. Anyway, everyone, thank you so, so much. Are you doing the sock along as well, Christina? See, I'm not insane. Lots of us wanted to do it. That's so cool. I want to thank you all so much for hanging out today. Over the next few live streams, I'm going to be adding in some more segments, fixing up like little stinger that I made, like making that a bit better, making it a bit quieter, obviously. And adding some of those in for some different things so that we can have different little segments and break it up a bit more. So it's not just me, blah, 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 blah. Well, I will still be, you know, prattling. But anyway, keep an eye on Discord. If you are a channel member, coffee level and above, so that's the artisan, that is the, I can't remember, the artisan, what's the other one? Coffee something. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. Coffee levels only. There is a members Discord chat happening on my Saturday, which might be your Friday evening, 10 a.m., which is the same time these streams start. I will see you all there Saturday for those of you that are going to be there. Otherwise, I'll see you back here next week, next Thursday, my time. Have an awesome week, and I'll catch you next time. Bye now.